Sharon Nehari is one of the leading attorneys in Israel. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So what do you think about the decision to strike down one of Ulmert's bribery convictions in this case? He's serving a lot less time now.
Yes, that's correct. The Supreme Court acquitting him from the, let's say, the heavy offense, which is the bribe of the 500,000 shekels concerning to the Holy Land case. The defendant argued at the High Court that actually when the state bring the state witness that died in the middle of the trial in 2013, that the defense cannot cross-examine him. So actually his testimony in court is not enough for conviction, because if the lawyer doesn't have any chance to cross-examine the witness, it's like the witness didn't give the testimony in court because the defendant hurt the defense. So the problem is that if the defense doesn't have the chance to cross-examine the witness, the witness is like zero. That's why the main reason of the Supreme Court to acquitting Mr. Aoulmert from the heavy charge of the bribe of 500,000 shekels. They still leave the conviction of the bribe of 60,000 shekels, and that's why the punishment need to reduct to 6 to 18 months in jail instead of 6 years.
So why did it take so much time for this conviction to finally take place?
According to the Israeli law, first of all, the investigation took some time. And after the case is transferring the case, the police transfer the case to the prosecution, and then they decide. The defendant have the right to have a hearing before the indictment. And after that, if they decide to charge him, the trial, you know, in this kind of cases with a lot of witnesses, a lot of defendants, I think 10 defendants in the trial, take a lot of time. It's not something very easy for the judge to do, even if he makes the trial fast. It still takes time, and after that, still the defendant has a right to make an appeal.
This is the first time ever that a prime minister is going to jail in Israel. Is this going to deter other leaders from committing similar crimes?
This is, first of all, it's a sad day, because although he acquitting the heavy charge, is still convicted in bribe, and it's a sad day for the Israeli community. But I think, you know, it's a good sign for the Israeli people that there is no discrimination between people. Although we're talking about the prime minister, the #1 citizen actually in the Israeli state, they still doesn't do any difference between a regular person and a political. So I think the politicians now will take it into account, and if something will be wrong, they know that the police going to act them the same way they act the regular criminal on the street, and they're not going to do any discounts.
Will this decision have any impact on how other politicians are treated in the future when it comes to major scandals like this?
I think it's going to emphasize to the politicians that they're going to be acted the same way as Mr. Aoulmert. I mean, they're going to charge, if someone will do any offense, they're going to charge him, to put the charges in court. They're going to have a trial, and they fight till the end of the day. The prosecutors fight in Aoulmert case a few years, and they didn't do any discount, and the same will be with other politicians.
Since we're on the subject now of how politicians are treated by the court, recently 2 different politicians resigned over sexual harassment claims,
yes.
And it doesn't seem like they're going to court. They just stepped down and were forgiven almost. Why is this? Is something going to change?
First of all, the other 2 politicians that you're talking about, it's just a new cases now. And first of all, the police need to check it. They check the complaint, they check the witness. They don't charge and you know, put the indictment in court as soon as there is a complaint. They need to check it, and they're going to check it. I think they resign because they understand that in the public file, not in the court file, the rumors are not nice, and they cannot do their job, and the public cannot trust them till the picture will be clear. And I think they did right.
Do you think that anything's going to happen here? Are these men going to be charged, Silvan Shalom and Yinon Magal?
I don't know. It's hard to say because we are still at the beginning. We don't know exactly what is in the case, what are the witnesses exactly say, what are Silvan Shalom told to the police, what is statement. So we need to wait and see. And you know, I think it's not the time to make a lot of media public rumors because it's hurt the investigation.
In Silvan Shalom's case, you have 13 different women who accused him of sexual harassment, but they haven't actually officially charged him in court. What happens in cases like this?
Usually the police has the right, even though the plaintiff, the woman, doesn't put official complaints in the police has the right, if they hear something, to invite them to the police station and to ask them questions and to tell them that if they're not telling the truth, they're making an offense. So the police has the right to charge him, even though there is no official complaint. Even though the police talk with her in her house, for example, and write what he hear from her. And also if she will come to the police station and give some answer to the questions. And even though she doesn't want to put an official complaint, still the police has the right to open an investigation and to take all those evidence and to claim to the prosecution that there is evidence or there is no evidence, sufficient evidence, and then to decide if to put an indictment in court or to close the case.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.